Today, we got ourselves into an epic match of Beyond All Reason on the most popular map in the entire game, Supreme. On the south side, we'll have the red team. Here we have an array of characters, from the sweaty 59 OS Rick to the more casual / newer player Horloff at 28 open skill. Their opponents on the other side of the map have roughly the same skill disparity as the 59 blue player, and the low player for blue team will be their C player. So C on C, violence will be coming our way. Now on Supreme, it's a pretty simple map. Think of it as a mad dash to the fire sale on Walmart on that day, Black Friday. Here, everybody wants to contend the middle while not giving up any ground. In the earlier stages of the game, you can definitely see the bots from either side trying to get down these coastlines and get some early game damage. But as long as your monitor is on, that should not happen. So no earlier game aggression will be coming out, just some skirmishes in the middle. That brings us on to part 2 of the match. The early turret aggression. Here, everyone's trying to build the Great Wall of Bar. Turrets will come up, walls will be risen, and everything is going to be, well, quite the fortress. However, even though they're trying to lock this down like Fort Knox, some ticks may slip through if micro correctly, as these rocketeers may have good range and beautiful missiles. They forgot to wear their glasses today, so those ticks will clean up the metal extractor and fall shortly after. But now we're entering that early to mid game stage where both teams have the middle, yet turrets and rocket bots are everywhere. Here you'll see multiple players pushing in to get a bit of damage, and the micro is what really matters here. This is where having a third hand would definitely help, because you gotta dodge and weave these rockets like you're playing dodgeball. And both teams, well, they're dodging it to the best of their capabilities. You'll sometimes see a Centurion in the front line. This is just to absorb rockets, to allow your other rocketeers to deal damage. Think in MMO terms. You have the tanks and the DPS, and the healer, well, it's your commander. But keeping him alive is important if you want the rest of the raid party to survive. As we'll see Trash Panda and Rick here exchanging blows left and right. Both teams have the top players on the front lines, as they want to make sure they can carry, and they don't want to leave anything up to RNG. But when you have the best players in the front, usually it's going to turn into a bit of a stalemate. Rockets firing back, massive explosions for our yellow commander. This could be the end of the front line for red team, as these guys, they squatted up, had their morning coffee, and executed that perfectly. This could be terrible for red. Blue now has full middle control.
Commander self-destructed.
This will force them back into their base. But more importantly, they are going to gain these metal extractors, furthering their economy and shutting down any hopes of and dreams of the red team winning the front line. So as we zoom out and have a look at the rest of the map, as the front line has pretty much now been decided, let's see how the other flanks are doing. Orange crushing it in the right C, as this man has taken full control, a true commander, forcing green out of the sea. Once he gets this torpedo up and running, it'll pretty much be impossible for green to retake it. On the left hand side, The C is definitely in favor of the purple player, but orange is not out of the game yet. Meaning
Commander
blue
destroyed.
could lose by C, but that front line, it's just demolishing. The commander falls, and now the gap has widened like the Grand Canyon. Red is going to be forced into their base, tucked away, trying to get the beamer online. This has a range of 490, but the Rocketeers have 475. If this could get up, he could stop this push very easily with a bit of reinforcements from his teammate Nuts. Nuts is going nuts with his commander as he looks to walk in and try and help turn the tide of battle. They need to keep the beamer alive though. But sadly, Nuts did not use his commander to block some of those rockets that could have brought them back. Let's head over to the other side where Trash Panda and the game in the toilet is just shoving their way through. Red's base, this is no longer an RTS battle but a home invasion. Call security because Red's base has just evaporated. Is there hope for Red team? Of course. The C is 1 on the right side and C is 1, maybe not 1, but even on the left hand flank. One bombing run could also change the game. If we look at the eco players, purple going incredibly greedy, going for the Jeff Bezos build where all he does is, well, make more money. Where the bottom side, they're building units and no airplanes, just the transport. I think a cheeking bombing run could have changed this game as well, but they did not want to gamble on it. However, though, a commander trade would be beneficial for the red team.
Destroyed.
He does not get it. Pixels away from blowing up Trash Panda and perhaps bringing the comeback. Then the Geo explodes, annihilating that base and sending him back to the lobby. Now Game in the Toilet is walking up, but our ping commander is not microing, and he's letting his hounds get, well, clowned on by the commander. With a couple of good D guns, he could shut down the hounds, but same can be said for pink, where if his micro's on point, he can kill his commander. But what does this do to the game? Some reclaim here could potentially bring them back, as they're not too far behind on economy. The metal and energy is pretty close enough to one throw from blue team could allow red to crawl their way back into this game. Because remember, the C is 1 on the right, the left hand C is pretty much still even. What red cannot allow to fall is their backline eco players. If these guys die, oh, that's pretty much GG. There is now a wild commander entering the backline of pink's base. This cannot be real, as he looks to submerge himself into the ocean to prevent the hounds from being able to shoot him. He's not deep enough yet at 8% for one more shot. 2? I can't do math, it's hard. The hounds just leave him alone. They're more scared of the onslaught of Quaker mobile artillery. This should be enough to finally end the game. As with the tier 2 now on the front line for blue, red has ran out of options. But I would love to know, what is your guys' favorite tier 2 army composition to run with for either Legion, Armada, or Cortex? As I'm a lover of that Legion army. I think it's so fun to play. Laser beam goes big damage. I'm a simple man. Big tank, big fun. The Quakers have now set up the barrage. The healing is surprisingly enough to keep this alive for a lot longer than I thought. spawns in the back, demolishing the winds. Resign boat coming out.
Destroyed.
We can have one last good look at the map.